everybody. Can y'all see me? I can't see. Uh-oh. Hey, everybody. Can y'all see me? Okay, so my name is Lisa Knox, and I'm so grateful to you all for joining me on this live. So, thank you about that. I don't know if you all can see me, but I'm just going to keep going until some. Oh, yay, Sybil, thank you for letting me know you can see me. Disregard my green screen, okay? Because this is like a first time doing, but I wanted to go live and say hello to everybody and celebrate our birthday. Today is Knox Law and Mediation's fourth birthday. So I am really excited about that. If you can see me, just go ahead and jump in. Give me a thumbs up, give me a wave, give me a hey. Hey. Good. So, guys, I hope you all have your glass of wine intact. Unless you don't drink wine. I saw that post, Maxie. You don't have to drink wine, but I'm going to. And today, I am an open book. I am here for you all. You all have been here for us for so long. I am an open book today. I thank you. You all are part of the Knox Law and Mediation family. We could not have made it without you. These 4 years have been rough and tough. We've gone through COVID. We've gone through all kinds of changes. And so, now it's our time to let our hair down and let's get loose. So if you have a question, right? I don't care if it's a question about law or a question about me in general. If you want to know my opinion on the hot scene, let me know and just ask it. Type it here, send it as a message. Call me on my phone, whatever you need to do to get it done. Oh, thank you, Erica. She says she sees me and the green screen. Look, we're just working through it. We're working through it. I'm so excited that I knew how to log in and get this done today. Oh, I just got reminded, look in the camera. Listen, y'all, I did not say that I'm a new age kind of person. I am not a young and tender spring chicken, okay? It's the law firm's fourth birthday. It is not mine. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So let's jump in and see if we have any questions or any thoughts about anything, because you know what? I've been actually thinking about a lot of things lately. And so now is my time to share it all. Wait, can y'all still see me? Oh Lord. Okay, Maxie Williams asked, how do I hide my assets from my crazy wife? Okay, let me go ahead and turn on my fan. It's already getting steamy. Maxie, let me just be clear. Most people already know if their spouse is crazy or not before they ever say I do. What I have found is that most people say I do because they sort of like the whole crazy thing until they turn it crazy to you. It's really not any fun when the rabbit got the gun, but whatever. So here's the deal. How do you hide your assets from your crazy wife? You don't. You don't hide your assets from your crazy wife. Now, if you have an interest in something, you should let your wife know about it, because there should be no secrets in your marriage. If you, let's say, have a moderate interest, and maybe it's not in your name, but you just have an interest in it, you can talk about it and share it. But if you're not really receiving anything from it, then don't worry about it. However, just being very clear, I'm not going to tell you how to get over on your wife, just simply because at the end of the day, when it's said and done, first one hires me wins. Boom! Okay, oh, we have another question. Let's see. What's the other question? I'm learning how to operate this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, that's a good question. What do I think happened between Jeezy and Jeannie Mai? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What I think happened with Jeezy and Jeannie Mai is that the novelty wore off. I think the novelty wore off. I think that they both were really excited to get married to this person who was so not what anyone expected them to, who they expected them to connect with, right? I think Jeannie maybe had some, I think she maybe had some carryover thoughts that maybe she shouldn't be having if she's going to marry a man such as Jeezy. I think that Jeezy thought that he was getting a bill of goods that he wasn't really getting. To be very honest with you, based off of what I've seen, I think Jeannie Mai was just too damn hood for Jeezy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Jeannie Mai was too damn hood for Jeezy. And then on top of that, with her being hood, she also had a tinge of I'm gonna treat you like an exotic sexual animal. And so I don't know if that's a good mix. Hood and I'm gonna treat you like an exotic sexual animal, and I want you to marry me and take care of me as your wife. And then she admitted to having an attitude too. So I'm like, whew, all that, I don't know. I just, my biggest question is like, here's my biggest question. What did that prenup look like? That's my biggest question. What did that prenup look like? Thank you. I'm getting so many happy birthdays, happy anniversaries. And I appreciate it. We got some more questions coming, but until then, okay. So just so anybody who is looking, because see, now I realize what's going on. Just so anybody who's looking, I have told everybody that there's no limits to the questions that's asking. So somebody just asked, how do I set up an offshore account? Just so you all know, yes, Corey, it's a celebration. Just so you all know, certain questions I'm not going to answer because I can't go back. I can't let them lock me up again. I'm not going to the pen for you. I don't know who you think I look like, but Rudy Giuliani ain't it. I'm not going to the big house. I'm too damn cute for all that. Let me drink my wine, honey. And I got my makeup on. I'm not going to prison for you. Trying to set up an offshore account. No, sir. And just in case anybody wondered, that is my brother. That he's been trying to get me locked up and gone away since the day they brought me home. Okay? Oh, Sybil, you are right. She couldn't control him. That is another thing too. She couldn't put that hot girl exotic kitty on him and make him do right. He was like, no, sir, my name is Jeezy the Snowman. I done had them all. I'm not moved. You know what? Sometimes if I don't find the words to say it, the Pinot Noir will. I tell y'all what. All right. So what other questions do we have? Oh my God. Oh, I miss you too, Susan. Max, I don't have to be Johnny Cochran. I can never be Johnny Cochran. But then again, let's just be clear. Johnny Cochran could never be Lisa Knox. So you win some and you lose some. Amen. All right. So, any other questions? Jump in. You know what? While I'm waiting for more questions, let's talk about how this entity called LM Knox Law and Mediation started. Okay. 4 years ago, September 19th of 2019, I was acting on an act of faith. Oh, it was an act of faith. It was like, okay, start your own firm. And so I'd been sort of in preparation for a couple of weeks, but I didn't have to really pull the trigger. And then one day I just jumped out and took the leap without any cape. I'll tell you more about it in a second because I do want to answer another question, but we're going to get more into details because, baby, when I tell you it was tears, it was, oddly enough, it was a lot of tears, a lot of figuring out things, a lot of late nights, but you know what it wasn't? It wasn't a lot of money that it cost for me to start up. It was just a lot of tears and a lot of late nights and a lot of leaning on people who said they have my back and watching and seeing the people who really did have my back, the people who were there for the long run. Simple has a good question. How would you describe what kind of lawyer you are? Excellent question, Sybil. um, what you see is what you get. I am sort of like, I guess if I had to describe it, and of course I'm being humble, but if Claire Huxtable and Maxine Shaw from Living Single had a love child who wore an afro to court, it would be me. That's who I am. And I say that because I am really whoever I need to be, as long as I am being real with myself. So what you see right now is what you get. There are sometimes where I can, I can look at things and be hardcore matter of fact, and then there's sometimes where I just look at things and look at the common sense beyond things. I really try to be that common sense attorney. Oh, we got a good couple of questions. Okay. What advice would you give your 22-year-old self? Oh, well, okay. Personal advice, I'd be like, girl, you are really rocking this thing here, and stop eating that macaroni and cheese, because look, that slim waist ain't always gonna be there. That's my personal thing, okay? But then I would tell her, like, it's gonna be okay. I realize now, sitting back and looking at it, I realized, like, I did not know shit from Shinola, and I think many of us didn't. And I don't know if Facebook is gonna put me in Facebook jail for saying shit twice, but y'all see, I get away with that. But I would tell her, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna figure it out eventually. Oh, good question, Sharik. What are some of my daily habits to keep me focused, humble, and motivated? You know what? When things get really hard, right? And my team will tell you, when things get really hard, or when we have a really trying day, or when I personally had a really trying day, I try to look at how I can move things for the better. How can I see it for the better? Let's just be clear. Everybody has a manipulation or an ability to manipulate, right? And I recognize that I have the ability to manipulate long ago. You know what they call that? They call that persuasion, which is a good thing. You want a lawyer who's persuasive and so forth, and who can move, with the situations. Well, I do that for everyone else. It's my responsibility to do that for myself as well. So when I'm having a rough day or every day, I think about my blessings and where I'm at. I recognize, and a lot of you all may not know, that I literally come from, when I say humble beginnings, I don't mean humble beginnings like, oh, we only had one car as a family and all. I mean humble. Father, I stretch my hand to thee, no other help I know. Beginnings. And so I have to remember that, I've come from that far. So if I've already started at the bottom and my bottom was real bottomed out, and I can make it here, then I have no need to fear. Clearly, God is going to keep me fed. It's going to be all right. Gratitude. That's exactly what it is. Thank you, Alexis. I love your energy too. Thank you. And thank you for congratulations. Great question. How did you handle moving from working for a firm to owning a firm? Okay, so listen, y'all. Owning your own business is more than a notion. Owning your own law firm is more than a notion. As a lawyer working for a law firm, so if you're ever talking to a lawyer and they're an associate at a firm or so forth, 9 times out of 10, they're not worried about, how they're going to do the marketing, or how, the overhead, the lights are going to stay on and all that. They're not worried about training their staff. They're not worried about hiring and firing. You know what they're worried about? They're worried about, your case and billables, meaning how much are they bringing in. As an attorney who owns her own law firm, or more so, as I like to call it, a CEO who is an attorney, my focus is, my main focus is taking care of my clients and making sure that my clients get the proper treatment, the proper care, the proper, everything, and making sure that my team is trained on doing that my team understands that we all have to work together to make LM Knox Law and Mediation great. Like, that's not just me. And it's not, and I'm not bigger than Knox Law and Mediation. It's for our clients. But I also have to make sure that somebody remembers to pay the light bill and the electricity bill and the cable bill. And then I have to make sure that, there's training and all that other good stuff. It's more than a notion. But I'm grateful. Every day I wake up to something new that I'm learning, something new that I'm exploring and all. And so it's like a baby, I've been able to watch this baby start from an idea to a conception to newborn to now hot shot 4 years old. So that's the case. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. How do you balance your professional life as an attorney with your personal life, especially as a business owner? Very carefully. Very carefully. Listen, it's what I have learned, and this is the realest thing. And now, normally I would charge an hourly rate for this, but I'm gonna give this to y'all for free, okay? I'm gonna teach you all the game for free. The hustle is sold separately, though, okay? But here it is. The key to the balance is understanding that you can have it all. You just may not be able to have it all at the same time. That's the best way I can put it. Because I don't know if you all know, even as starting this firm and bringing it up and, and nurturing it to growth, I was also, I'm still a mom, a single mom. And so there were times where I had to put, work that needed to be done on the business to the side because I had to be mama. And then there's times where, my son had to understand, listen, I got to pay attention to Knox Law and Mediation. We have to keep that growing. That is the legacy that I have. And then there are times, and I'm just not even going to lie to you. You can see there are times when I have to go to the nail tech and say, listen, I need a spa day. I need a me day. Because I have to make sure, as I tell my clients, I have to make sure that I have something in my cup so that I can pour it in to everybody else's. I have a responsibility and duty to my clients, to my colleagues, to my staff, to my coworkers and my team, but most importantly, I have a commitment and a duty to my family and to myself. And so you can't do it all at the same time, but sometimes you got to let things take priority. You can have it all, but just not all at the same time. That's the answer. Thank you. What advice would you give parents with teens over 18? Move. I tell them move, and don't tell them where you're moving to. If they're 18, get free. No, really, you know what I tell them? Remember that to the world, so in your eyes, those are still your babies, right? They're still your babies. But to the world, they're adults. And so you have to treat them as you would treat any other adult. You can't make banking decisions for your brother and for your mother and all these kind of things because they're grown. And guess what? When your children are 18 and over, they're also grown. So that's when you need to start looking at estate planning for your children. Maybe you're not ready to speak about what happens after they pass away, even though that is something that should be discussed. But you need to talk about power of attorneys. If your children are in school, away at college, you need to talk about FERPA releases so that you can have access to their grades and their financial aid, or else they're going to have to figure it out another way. So those are all those things. If you need help, you all know you can reach out to me and let me know. Okay? Oh, Elizabeth Porter, I am glad you are here for this, and I do love you too, because I am here for it too, honey. I'm here for it too. How about a prenup? Is that still relevant if she lives with you, but you're not married to them? No, it's not. That's a great question, actually. Prenup is not relevant per se if you all live together, but you're not married and you're not getting married. Now, if you know you're not getting married, you don't need a prenup. But you know what I would tell you if you all are going to live together? And this is something that a lot of people don't think about, but it is necessary. If you all are going to live together, you need to draw up a domestic partnership contract. You need to draw up a domestic partnership contract. What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with that? What happens if we split up? Who gets what? Because just because you all are not, just because you all are not married doesn't mean that promises weren't made and promises weren't, expect it to be fulfilled. So nip it all in the bud and do a contract. Besides, if you all can't talk about how you want your relationship to be and literally sit out there and plan out your relationship, then what are you doing? If you can't have that conversation, what are you doing? You know? As a businesswoman, how have you dealt with the haters, and what advice would you give us as entrepreneurs dealing with that? Okay, let's just be clear. One, anybody who's hating on me, I thank them. Congratulations. Stay tuned. I appreciate my haters. Like, I'm so serious. I have been known to send thank you cards to people who I know can't stand to say my name because it tastes funny in their mouth. That's not my business. It's not my business. If they're talking about me, I love a good gossip about me. But it's not my business. If they can't stand me because of this or that, if I have not done them wrong and they just don't like me because of general principle, maybe their spirit feels attacked by my spirit or vice versa. Listen, that has nothing to do with me. Everybody has to find their own way. Every pot has to sit on its own bottom. What I'm never going to do is wake up and worry about what somebody who calls himself a hater is feeling about me. I will count rice one by one in the middle of a hurricane before I ever wake up and be anything but grateful and wishing a prayer on their life. That's it. Come on, Shrek, make a hater list and send them something for Christmas. What is a shell corp, and will that help me? Once again, this is my brother. I've known this for many years. I think it's more than a shell core you're gonna need, brother, to help you out. I think it's a little bit more than that. But we're gonna keep you on the prayer list. Okay. Do you have any favorite resources or books that have influenced your approach to family law or entrepreneurship? Oh, great. Okay, so I love this book. It's called Profit First. It's like a cornerstone book. Read that. Right now, I'm in the middle of reading Never Split the Difference. As a mediator, it's really important to understand more so than positions, to understand the why behind things. And so sometimes you're not just splitting the difference. Sometimes there's legitimate reasons of why people need things, and you're finding those reasons out. But yeah, you're not going to split the difference. So that's what's reading now. Also, you know what I will tell you? Influencing my approach to family law or entrepreneurship, especially family law, I love autobiographies and biographies of people, because then you realize that even the great people, the people with whom, their names will go down in, what is it called, the annals of history, they still had familial turmoil that they had to overcome in some way, shape, or form. And it's a way of sort of keeping yourself focused, humble, aware, understanding that every traumatic event, if you do it properly, if you manage it properly, does not have to be, your bad story or whatever they call it for the cartoons. When the bad guy becomes the bad guy, it doesn't have to be that. So I always encourage people, read biographies, read autobiographies, read history, stories behind history or whatever, and that will give you good insight and all too. And psychology, a good intro to psychology. Every attorney and entrepreneur in this world can use a good intro to psychology, because you need to understand people. People are more than what they express. Ooh, they're so much more than what they express. Come on, Sheree. All right, Sheree, you about to get on the payroll. What do you say? Make your scar a star. Make it a star. I love it. Do you take a retainer in cash and unmarked bill? I'm not going to the big house with you. And let me be honest with y'all. My firm doesn't take cash. And why doesn't my firm take cash? Because we like to have records. We love records. We love paper trails. Because you know what else we love? A prison-free life. Like, we just really do. I have on peach, not orange. Okay? What are you thankful for today? That's a great question. You know what? Today, I am thankful for determination and perseverance, and just really for the journey. So, what I haven't told everybody is that today is not only the 4-year anniversary of Knox Law and Mediation. Today, I'm doing the math in my head. 7 years ago, I found out that I passed the Florida bar, and I was an actual real live attorney. So it's that anniversary as well. So what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for perseverance. I didn't know if I was going to pass that bar. That bar is hard. The Florida bar is one of the hardest bars ever. That bar is hard. And I remember coming over, and I stayed at my friend Erica's home afterwards. And I took the test, and I went to her house, and she was doing her Southern Comfort thing. Hey, I have snacks, and I have all of this. And all I remember her doing is going into the kitchen to get the snacks. And then I woke up the next morning. I was exhausted. I had done something I'd never done before. I didn't know how to study when I started law school, and I had gone to studying 13 hours a day. I studied with my son. I studied with my family. My son probably could have passed the bar because we studied. And also, when I found out that I passed that bar on the first try, mind you, it changed my world. It changed my world. So today's that anniversary as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Is it difficult? Oh, that's a good question. Is it difficult to disconnect from a hard case once you go home? No, because in reality, all the cases are hard in some way, shape, or form. Remember that, for me, it's sort of like, when you're doing your respective jobs, you do it day in, day out. You sort of know the way it goes, right? But for me, I'm doing it day in and day out, but my clients don't know how it goes. And it's so emotional, right? And so all the cases are hard. In order to disconnect, I don't know how we call it disconnect. Because I pray over my cases too. That's the other thing I'll tell y'all. I might cuss every once in a while. I might invite somebody out to, handle things the old school way. But I pray over all my cases and all my clients. I don't even take a case if I don't believe in the client or the case. So as far as disconnecting, I don't know if I necessarily do. It doesn't interfere with my balance because I can recognize when it's time to do work and when it's time to walk away from the work. But I never want to really disconnect from my case, because the moment I disconnect from my case, then I start losing empathy for the case and for my client, and start losing that creativity of, well, how can we get around this? So that's the case. Let's see. Are you ever going to write a book? You're inspirational. Oh, thank you. I might write a book. Hopefully if I write a book and then they turn it into a movie, I'm trying to see. I don't know if Angela Bassett need to take her vitamins or whatever, but I need Angela Bassett to play me. Like, for real. Represent me, Angela Bassett. Okay, which one is better, a trust or a will? It depends on which way you want to go with things. There's always an option. And sometimes you can do a trust and a will and just go ahead and cover all bases. What were some of the challenges you faced as a woman in the legal industry, and how did you overcome? All right, short answer is one of the challenges that I face as a woman in the legal industry is that I don't have a penis. I'm not a man in the legal industry. Why am I saying that? I'm not bashing men. I promise you all, I'm not bashing men. But I get people all the time who feel like, oh, you're a woman, so you're not going to look at this. You're not going to look at this in the same manner. You're going to be emotional about things. I don't know if women, I've had people tell me, I don't know if women learn the same as men. I don't know if women will be respected the same as men in the courthouse. I've also had that same issue, believe it or not, about race. I've had that same issue about age. I've had that same issue even about looks, you know. Um how did I overcome them? I don't know if I did overcome it. But the truth of the matter is, once again, it's not my business to. I can show you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. That's not my business to overcome whatever bag, hang up, stereotype, thought, whatever you have about me. That's not my business. My business is to go ahead and show you better than I can tell you. Amen. Um, what inspired me to become an attorney? So So my friends and family have spoke this over my life for so long. When I was a little girl, my dad said, "Baby girl," that's how he talked. So y'all gonna let me use the voice. "Baby girl, you talk too much. So you're not gonna be able to have a man who's gonna take care of you, because he's gonna want to have to fight you. So you're gonna need to learn how to make your own money. So you either need to be a salesperson, or have your own business, or be an attorney." That's what he said. And I'm a daddy's girl and all. And I just took that in one ear and out the other. And then all my homegirls and my friends were like, "Oh, you should go to law school." And I was like, "Absolutely not." Took that in one ear and out the other. And then 2012, I got really sick. And it was my son and I. It was just me and my son. And he challenged me. He was like, "Mom, right after I started recovering, he was like, 'What are you going to do? Because you can't do,' I had a business." He was like, "You can't do the business. So what are you going to do?" I said, "I don't know, buddy. What should I do?" And he said, "Mom, you should do something you've always been afraid to do." So I said, I'll go to law school. I'll become a lawyer. And the little boy looked at me. He said, "Okay, I think you went too far." But I had already been challenged. So to be honest with you, it's not what inspired me to become an attorney. It's who inspired me to become an attorney. And so the person who inspired me, everyone else dropped seeds, but the person who watered my my crops and got them to really grow and to bring forth, he watered my tree to get me to bring forth fruit, was a little 7-year-old precocious little loud talking boy. So yeah. So that's the case. Ooh. All right. So my yeah, sure. My mother said that too. I can show you a lot better than I can tell you. Fortunately or unfortunately for me, the stuff my mama was showing me, I wish I would have just let her tell me. Breaking the corporate veil. Can you help me with that if I'm accused of that in my company? So breaking the corporate veil is not necessarily something you're accused of. It's more so, and it's called piercing the veil. It's more so a tactic that is used when people commingle funds, so that we can determine, basically so that we can count all business funds as your personal funds for whatever purposes. I practice mainly family law, so I would use it for purposes of support or child support. So that is a free piece of advice. Get your notepads out. If you have a business, you need to have a separate account for your business. You need to only pay for business expenses from that account. That should not be an account that you go and use because you want some chips, or that you're going to use because, it's whatever. That's the one you have money on. If you don't have money in your personal account, you need to get yourself on payroll. But what you cannot do, or what you should not do, I can't tell you what you can do, but what you should not do is commingle them. Because if you commingle them and then your ex or your soon to be ex hires a person who, I don't know, I don't want to toot my own horn, but who hires a person like me, I'm going to want all your bank records. I'm going to want all your personal records. And I'm going to climb through all those. And I'm going to get into them like a good book. And the moment I start seeing you commingling those funds, and the moment any attorney, any family law attorney worth the doggone, start seeing you commingle those funds, well, now we about to have a celebration. And guess who's the piñata? Okay? Yes, my son is my why. My son is my why. He is absolutely my why. He's my why not take a chance. He's my why wait, you know? I figured I had nothing to lose. If worst case scenario, I jumped out, started my own firm, and I failed miserably. And guess what? I don't know if I'm able to say this on Facebook. Zuckerberg, don't come over here acting up. But guess what? Then he learned, if nothing else, his mom ain't afraid of an ass whooping. She still got up and kept it moving. And so hopefully that would keep him going too. Absolutely. Going to Las Vegas with a girl considered a business expense. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Okay, what do you tell people who say prenups kill the romance? If you think prenups kill the romance, wait till you experience heavy litigation. Heavy litigation will ruin any future relationships too. Absolutely. So, I tell you this, in any relationship, oh, thank you, Jamal. In any relationship, you should be able to have those unsexy conversations. And it doesn't mean that y'all have to be on the same page at first. You probably won't be on the same page at first. But have those unsexy conversations. It's hard. I am telling you not from what I heard, but from what I know. However, I would rather you all have that conversation, and if you all agree, then do a prenup while you're both happily in love, while you wish each other nothing but the success, because you can only see each other growing successfully together, than to not do a prenup. And now the person you would fight the win for is fighting you like the win. That's it. Jamal, thank you. This is so dope. Thank you. I like to consider myself a dope person who does dope things, and so I thank you. It's not just me though. I have to tell y'all, it's my team. When I tell you my team kicks butt and takes names, my team holds me accountable. My team can call me in the middle of the night and be like, this is what needs to get done. And if it does not get done, then I have a problem with my team, and my team has a problem with me. And I think that's wonderful. I can honestly say that through all the ups and downs, I've been really blessed with an awesome team. And so it's not just me tonight. I'm representing them too. I'm representing Ava. I'm representing Nathi. Thank you very much. I'm representing Malika. Malika knows, a lot of them, everybody, my whole social media team, I thank you. I thank, my friends and my colleagues, my legals. I thank you all. I thank you to my colleagues, to the 13th Judicial Circuit in Hillsborough here. I thank y'all because everyone, every year has been speaking life and speaking growth and speaking favor, and so I thank y'all. I do. How do you uncover assets when researching people? Oh, it's very simple. Most things are attached to your social security number. People think they hide stuff. No, you don't. I'm gonna be slick and put this in my mama's bank account. It's not hard to figure it out. Your mama about to be a witness and testify. Oh, what advice would you give law students? You know what I would give law students, honestly? I would give them 2 pieces of advice. First piece of advice is remember that you are networking from day one. Your classmates are your colleagues. Your classmates will refer business to you. Your classmates you will refer business to. So you need to decide who you are and be true to who you are that whole time. I'd rather you be 100% that whole time and find your tribe, find the people who, you can lean on and who can lean on you, who you can bounce things off of while you're in law school. And that will be your networking core. That will be the people who understand. The second piece of advice that I would give, keep an open mind. When I started law school, I had a firm conversation with God. I laid it out for God. I was like, look, I'm doing this law school thing, but we're not doing criminal. We're not doing family law. What we're going to do is corporate law. I'm going to do a 9 to 5, and then I'm going to go home. I'm going to make a whole bunch of money, and every once in a while, I'm going to do scorched earth in the courtroom. That's what we're doing, okay? And God was like, how long, hip hop? And so everywhere I went, it led me into family law until finally I realized that's where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be in family law. Had I not had an open mind, I'd have been so busy trying to fight against family law, trying to fight against that tithe, that I would have missed my calling, because I am designed to be a family law attorney. Good, bad, or indifferent, I'm designed to be a family law attorney. So that's the case. Oh my gosh, I just thank y'all so much. I thank y'all so much. We've been partying like rock stars in here. And so, woo! Let me lift the glass. I know you're not supposed to drink until after you toast, but let me lift the glass to you all. Thank you for showing up. What's my next goal? I don't know. My next goal, I don't know. The sky is the limit, though. I could have a TV show. I put aside the idea of being a backup dancer for Beyonce. However, Beyonce, Giselle, Carter, Knowles Carter, if you need me, call me. I got those. There you go. I got that for you. But I don't know. I might do a webcast or a podcast. I might run for office. I don't know. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. As long as I got breath, I got opportunity. That's the case. So I thank you. I thank you so much. Let's see. Thank you for that. Cheers. Thank you, Keisha. You know what, guys? It's so good to see everyone. If you all look at the comments, y'all have all talked life into me through these years. You could definitely see a TV show or a podcast. I hope so. You know who I don't want to be? I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, I don't want to be a Real Housewife of Atlanta. But then I'm like, look, Nene is a household name now. So I don't know. But let's see. I might even want to do like a judge television. Oh, thank you. I'll see you too soon. From the school bus to the courthouse. Amen. Okay, so I have been reminded that, you know what? The party starts over at Instagram. Now, okay, let me be very clear. On Instagram, we start at 8, and the wine gets changed out for whiskey and Coke. So y'all know what that means. That means everything is off the chain and there's no holds barred. So if y'all want to keep the party going, come join me over at Instagram at Knox Law. And let's see what goes on from there. But in the meantime, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your wishes and your prayers. I'll see y'all later, okay? Let me know if I can help you. If you ever need any kind of help, if you need any kind of legal assistance, even if you just need some life advice or whatever, you can call my office, 813-447-3001. If I don't do that kind of law, I'll refer you to somebody who does, okay? I love y'all dearly, and I'll see y'all later, okay?